Hey everyone, how's it going? So for today's video, we're just gonna do a little bit of a follow-up with the stuff that's been happening after the daily close and a little follow-up on the analysis that I've been doing for the last couple of days. And then we'll move on to basically the usual daily analysis, the 3-day down to the lower time frames. Um, Basically, not much new with my trade. I basically just hedged it to be safe, but it wasn't really necessary. I just didn't want to deal with this whole event thing that we had and potentially having it turn into a real rally. So I just basically played it safe. After seeing this bullish engulfing, I basically, after it topped out and started going back, I just filled up this area, the bottom of the order block, with some longs, and then once it came back down I started market smashing it up. So I basically hedged my short that I had from around 3500-ish. So it was a net short at around 3500-ish, and I hedged it with the same contract value from around here, and yeah, it's basically flat right now, but I'm just waiting to see what this event is gonna produce, and most likely just gonna market smash the long and close it. The short is alongside my bias and the thing that and the trade that I want to have open. Like that's basically my main thing. This long is just a safety precaution measure, so I don't give back too much of my PNL. Um, so to follow up on the analysis a little bit, we said yesterday I wasn't seeing anything being built up, and my bias was completely to the downside. And my bias is still currently to the downside because I'm not seeing the high taken out yet, like the high that we had. We put like one higher low, and we got up to the previous higher, the high that we had. So if we take this out, technically we'll have an uptrend, higher lows and higher highs. But I haven't seen that yet. And yesterday in the video, I mentioned that I wasn't seeing any structures being built anywhere. And on the 4 hour, I mentioned that I was paying attention to see if this is going to turn into something. And once the daily closed below 30K, I was looking for the daily to get a backfill. And basically, that backfill was around up to here, like basically up to the first resistance point. And once it just started mooning above that and just started going nuts, I basically hedged my long, or hedged my short with the long just to be safe, as I mentioned. And there's not really much new with these events. Like once there's an event like this, they usually pump the price just before the event, and during the event, which is I believe right now, the price just basically tanks, and it's like a buy the rumor, sell the news. So buy before the event and sell the event type of thing. So it hasn't done anything significant. Like it hasn't even built a structure on the 4 hour yet. Like it got up to the high, but right now it's wicking. And we'll just have to see. We'll have to see if this actually turns into a real rally, and that's the reason why I hedged with a long. So my bias is still completely to the downside, but I have to be safe. I have to be aware of what is going on over here if this can potentially turn into something. So I'm basically already covered with my long. So at this point I just have to see if the long is going to be the one to take over and the short is going to get closed, or if the short is going to just continue and the long just needs to close and have the short go alongside with the trend and my main bias and everything else. So I'm already taking the precautions that I need to take. I'm already being safe. I'm already managing my risk. So um yeah, basically that's how I'm dealing with all that, and that's the follow-up. So we'll just go to the 3-day, do our usual analysis from the higher time frames down. So we have a bit of a bullish engulfing here, but this is gonna close in like 2 days. So all of this could turn into a wick for all I know. So until this closed, this is nothing. And even with all this, momentum is still to the downside because Stokes is reactive. Stokes doesn't really wait for a close. Like if there's activity happening, if there's candles building bodies in any direction, this will start printing. So this is not even really doing anything. It's not even affecting the Stokes. Like, yeah, we have a little cross up from the blue, but the red is the one that I pay attention to, the slope of the red, and it's not even affecting it, not even changing it. They're all literally nosediving. And on this one, it's not even changing the blue. So, and obviously on, like, this is the most reactive, a little less reactive and least reactive. So, yeah, I'm not really seeing much over here. It's just, we'll do the 3-day on our volatility and momentum. Stoke momentum is down. MACD has a little bit of an up momentum because of this, but Stoke hasn't even affected the momentum yet. Volatility not telling me too much. 3-day on our RSI, RTSI. I don't think there's divergence. I don't think TSI is doing it. Yeah, it's the same posture. So not really anything new there. We'll go to the 2-day. It might be closing today, I believe. Yeah, it's closing with today's daily. So in this posture, it would actually be good for the structure. But we can see this is kind of turning into a Darth Maul. It has like a wick at the bottom, wick at the top, and it's just classic liquidity grab, classic scam before the resume of the real trend. And this is basically weekend price or no, sorry, what am I saying? It's Wednesday. Sorry, I literally just woke up, so my brain is not really 100% going right now. Yeah, so this is basically just like from the looks of it, it's just a liquidity grab before the main trend resumes. Like, we'll have to see where this closes, if it's gonna be a bullish engulfing, if it's gonna turn into a massive wick, turn red, who knows. It's just, we'll have to see the close and then see the reaction of the market after this event. So yeah, not much there. 2-day on our volatility and momentum. Volatility's bottomed here, not much over here. A little bit of momentum to the upside on the MACD. This is just this candle. And it's so strange because I know MACD is lagging and it needs to close, but it's showing the momentum to the upside. But Stokes, that I know for a fact is not a lagging one, and reacts like in the moment before the candle even closes, that one's showing red. So it's pretty strange. It's like, if you look at the Stokes, yeah, they're still nosediving. So it's a bit of a strange read. I don't really find confluence there. Yeah, here we go with the dump. I'm just gonna turn this off. I use these alerts for, because it gives just sends it like a ping. So where's the other one? I believe it's, yeah, I'll turn this off too. Yeah, not much over here. We'll go to 2-day on our RSI and RTSI. Yeah, so these drives, the drives that I've been talking about, like if this closes in this posture, this would actually tell me that your drives are done as well. But I don't know. This whole event thing, like, it really takes the credibility out of the TA, and it really just confuses the market a lot. But usually after the events, like, if whatever happens during the event doesn't get a grip on the charts, the previous trend that we were having right before the event will just resume, and it will just continue doing what it was doing. And right now it looks like it, because it's basically, this is the real pull. This is the first real pullback that we've seen since the pump from yesterday's daily open. So this is basically like more than $1,000 pullback. So this could just get nastier and nastier and just make this whole thing turn into a giant wick. Like, I've seen it before on the event days. It's just like, it's just nonsense FOMO. Yeah. So the chart just happened to freeze on our CME tab, and I guess it gives us a chance to quickly look at CME. Daily on the CME, we did put a lower low, we're just continuously putting lower lows, and not really much there. We just have to see how this closes, but in whatever, like, as long as it's above here, it is bullish engulfing. So, like I've been saying, we just have to see what is going to happen after this event. Is there going to be some sort of structure left, and is there going to be something building up from that, or is it just going to be a complete buy the rumor, sell the event type of thing? So, um, we'll just go to the daily now on Stokes. Yeah, nice bullish engulfing. Stokes turning up a bit, not really like as I've been saying before. I want to see the red go back, go outside, curve, and go back into the box. Here we almost have it. So I just would like to see this candle close if I'm gonna start taking longs based on this, or taking uh scalps in a direction of a trend based on this on lower time frames. I would like to see the close first, especially because it's like an event thing, and it's just like a fresh cross back into the box. Like, I want to see a close, and then basically go with whatever happens after. So, not much on the other ones. And oh, we're getting rejected by the middle Bollinger Band, as we have been getting rejected this whole entire time. So it basically rejected this too. So there's only so much these events can do. It's like they can't really break macro cycles. Like, they can just create some excitement, create some FOMO, but I've never seen an event break a macro cycle at any point. I don't remember any of them. I don't remember any of them doing that. Daily. Okay, we have daily on the volatility and momentum. We have volatility expanding, as we've been saying for the last couple of days, and downside momentum is wearing off a little bit because of this nice green candle. Not much that we haven't said before and mentioned in the previous videos. Daily, yeah, same thing with all these drives. So if this closes over here, the drives are for sure done, and we have to see what kind of structure we have building after. And basically rejecting from the 21 and the 200, I believe. Is that? Yeah, the 200. Yeah, so not much there. TSI, same posture, just weak, curling over. We'll do the 12-hour and the 4-hour as well. Like, even though right now I wouldn't put any weight on these because it's just all the scam that's been going on. Yeah, 12-hour is getting rejected from the middle as well, from the middle Bollinger Band. Stokes are up. Stokes are up on this side, but we'll just have to see if it just curls and flops over. 12-hour on momentum and volatility. I believe we had volatility expanding to the upside. So it's testing the EMA because of this, because we had volatility expanding as price was breaking down, and now that price is going up, it's going to do the opposite. So we'll just have to see if this is going to be a test of the EMA and then it just continues dumping after the event, or is this going to be something building up and volatility just retracting back, and then basically saying that this wasn't the main breakdown that we were looking for. We just have to see how it manifests. On the momentum side, we have a little bit of an upside building up, obviously, because of these candles. So 12-hour on RSI or TSI. No divergence. TSI is just still falling over. A little bit of a cross action happening, but I look at the general slope of the yellow in this case, because yellow is the least reactive, blue is the super reactive. So not really seeing postures that I want. So we'll just do the 4-hour as well quickly. Although, as I said, this is just like this, like, up to here it was all TA. It was all based on TA and technical analysis. But this is all the event thing. This 3 candles, this the 4th candle. This is all from the event hype, and this is the event itself. So we can see, like, if you just look at the volume, you see the volume. The way I look at the volume is you see price breaking down, and you see the volume becoming higher. Like the volume, it's like the price is breaking down, and the volume is kind of uh, hitting higher highs. And even over here, we see this little breakout. The price is breaking out, the volume is declining. And over here, on the overall picture of the volume, how it's just expanding, we see price breaking down, volume expanding. So this whole thing could just potentially be liquidity for the market makers, having this little event, having the Bitcoin cheerleaders just going off, making an event, getting everybody all hyped up, and just using all of this as liquidity to continue the trend that was already going on. So this is why I'm not excited. Like, if I see structure building up, yeah, I'll get excited. I'll have my long continue, and I'll close my short, and I'll just go with that. But it's just, I've seen this so many times. This is just like the same old game that they just play with everyone's emotions. So I'm not getting excited until the event is over, and I see what happens after, and if there's a structure left after. So it's yeah, it's not what I was looking for. It's not what I look for to trade based on. Like, I obviously manage risk based on it, and I try to find confluence with my main bias, but I'm not gonna just FOMO in here and be like, oh, bull market is back on. It's just, that's not gonna happen. So Stokes is actually over here. It's gone outside, and it's curling a little bit, but like I've been saying with the bottom, when it's at the bottom, like, I need it to go outside, curl, and come back in. And I look at the slope of the red. So right now it's starting to do the curling action. Like, this just depends on how this candle closes and what it does. But until I see that, I'm not gonna fully say that the momentum is shifting back to the downside. And as I've been saying, we just have to see. We have to see closes. We have to see what's left in the structure. 4 hour on momentum and volatility. Momentum is obviously to the upside with these candles. Volatility was expanding as the price was breaking down, but right now it's just basically testing the EMA. So, and it actually redlined a bit with these ones. So yeah, not really giving me the confluence with the other things, so I'm just gonna ignore this. But obviously this shows that this was very volatile, and this actually made a red line on this on our volatility indicator at the bottom. And this is Bollinger Band. This is based on Bollinger Bands. This is just based on volatility. So volatility in general was pretty crazy during these. But on the Bollinger Band, it didn't really affect it as much, because we can see over here, it's basically it didn't break above the Bollinger Bands, or it didn't break below the Bollinger Band, so it's not really gonna make the volatility based indicator go start showing crazy reads. It's still within, and it's still getting rejected. It's still building structure over here based on it as it's doing its scam move and whatever. So it's not gonna show too much craziness on the Bollinger Band volatility. 4 hour on RSI, RTSI. RSI just exploded over here. That's hilarious. I don't really look at it that way. I look at it for divergences, and I look at it for a trending pattern, like any sort of pattern that I can see, like a falling wedge or anything like that, based on price action. And I just look at it for confluence. I don't trade solely based on what RSI reads or anything like that, unless it's like super macro time frames, like the weekly and stuff. And I look at reads to see if bull market is still on, if it's bear market, that sort of things. I've mentioned it in one of my videos. I've shared the little secret sauce there, but we're not gonna get into that one in this video. Yeah, so that's our RSI. No divergences, and RTSI is kind of doing yeah, it's still within the pattern that I was putting, and it's still down angled. Like, I'm not seeing a big change in the overall slope and in the overall posture, so it's nothing nothing exciting there. So I guess that's everything for today's video. A little bit on the longer side, it's like about 20 minutes. So I'll leave it at that. And as I've been saying, please manage risk. Please wait for confirmations and don't FOMO into events, stuff like this. Let's wait and see if there's going to be a structure left by the daily close. If there's going to be something that's going to gain momentum and have continuation, if there's going to be some sort of structure built. So I personally doubt it, and I'm ready to close my hedge long at a moment's notice. So I'm not getting excited with this, and I suggest you guys do your TA, do your analysis, have your risk management areas, and take it easy and don't FOMO in. FOMO is the worst. FOMO, especially during these news events, it's the worst. Like, yeah, sure, I'm sure somebody that was just blindly longing over here uh, got a nice payday, but that is not, like, long term. That stuff is not gonna, it's not gonna be profitable. Doing things like that, one of them is just gonna, like, it just takes one of those to go the other way for that person to wreck a big chunk of their account. So having a trade strategy, having a trade plan, having something that is more long term, and um basically just something that is long term, and something that just manages risk, and something that just keeps you above water, and something that needs like 7 out of 10 trades to be in greens so you can be profitable long term, not just one trade to be to the moon so you can make a stack and then basically have another trade later that just destroys half of that stack. Like, that's not trading as a professional. That's just trading as a gambler. That's just FOMO trading. So there's a huge difference, and I've been getting into good conversations regarding that whole topic with chat in Twitch, and sometimes in Discord in my DMs. So yeah, it's just all about being long term and doing long term stuff. So I'll leave it here. I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.